Yes, that is about world pattern and regional trends. So we can identify some regions in the world. So the population pattern and the growth are different from region to region. So we can study about those things. Then population demography, sorry, geography. So the according to the geographical space also we can identify some specific human characteristic or population characteristic. So the geographical location is also one factor to make classification. So the regional wise we are evaluating population based on the geographical classification. Focuses on the numbers. Then you other things you know because we have already know what are the other measures of studying the population in numerical figures. So the number, otherwise the quantity, the composition, distribution are the factors we are discussing about those things in numerical. Then demography differs, statistical study of human population, spatial analysis of relationship of number of area, ratio, proportions, likewise. Then we know how to use ratios, proportions in demography and statistical studies. Then I think when you are doing the second assignment, you would understand some statistical techniques you can apply for these studies. So spatial analysis of relationship of number to area. So you have done that part also. You have covered that one along with the second assignment. You have covered some geographical areas, some spatial areas using some statistical analysis. Regional consideration includes then when you are considering regional specification in demography, these are the points we can address. Resources. What are the resources in given area? So, you know, in Arabic countries, they are facilitated with some fuel sources. So, as a small Arcadian country, Sri Lanka is facilitated with the sea. So, we have seafoods. So, we can export seafood. So, that's a resource for our country. But some countries don't have some countries don't have sea, so they are not facilitated with some seafoods or some facilities with sea, because with this coastal area, with the beautiful coastal area, Sri Lanka has become an attractive tourist destination. But some other countries don't have that kind of resources, but comparatively we can talk about the resources in those geographical areas. Type of economic development. With respect to these sources and the geographical location, the economic development also somewhat different from country to country or region to region. So we can consider about the economic development also as a one factor. And level of living. So the living status is also some is an important factor. And food supply. Then you know those days Sri Lanka was an agricultural country. Nowadays also it is somewhat agricultural, but we are looking for some imports also, imports of foods. We are importing tomato, rice, dal, like so many things we are importing. So we are considered about those things also. And Sri Lanka also has a good name with respect to some exports. As an example, Ceylon tea. We have good recognition with Ceylon tea. So that's a food supplement, one component with respect to Sri Lanka. Likewise, various countries have various recognitions. Conditions of health and well-being. So we are having free health facilities and well-being. Then we are using some indexes to consider and make conclusion about this well-being. So Norway is one good country to live as a country which is following well-being concepts very well. According to some indexes, we can consider about that one. Yes. Now you have a draft. You can read it leisurely and draw a conclusion and say something. In 2000, the biggest proportion of world share, biggest share of world population is for China. But according to the estimations in 2050, the highest proportion may be in Asia, other Asia and Oceania region. So according to that, you can read this kind of graphs, and there are more things in this presentation. You can read those things especially because we have already discussed the basics about these all concepts. Then I need some more things to teach you. Then when you have the truth birth rate for 1,000 more than 30, the value that says it is about higher value, higher truth birth rate. Then if you have 18 or less than that per 1,000, that says that's about low truth birth rate. Those are some limits to make conclusions. Then when you come to true death rate, that have somewhat different values. That is to say that should be greater than 20. To say low, it should be less than 10. Then I have given two activities. The first one is, then I have already discussed with you how the COVID-19 has affected on world population. Then right that way, you can find more information about what are the effects of World War II on population in the world. Some are still suffering from World War II. There are some results of that war for present generation, and there may be for the future generation either. So you can find what are the effects on population from World War II. Then, yeah, I need to teach you this one also. Population pyramids. So the shape of the population pyramid also says some important things. Then I have already introduced you this kind of population pyramid. That's about some age limits or single year or some age limits. And we are having male and female population in a given time along with our age group. So this kind of a shape say the children are having the more quantity in the population, then that has been gradually reduced. Then when you come into here, the middle ages are somewhat higher because let's say about the same population but in different years. This about 1970, this about 2000. So after 30 years, then after 30 years, it's 2030. So the pyramid shape has been changed because the deaths have been reduced. The death amount has been reduced when you compare to the age death. Sometimes it may be due to the migrations also. But anyway, the shape has been changed. So it has a cylinder shape. It approximates the cylinder shape in 2030. Then when you see this one, you can take an idea. The shape of the population pyramid has some relationship with their economical status. So you can see these three graphs are for the Sweden, Australia, and Russia. So those three are having somewhat like a cylinder shape. But the Uganda and Sub-Saharan and Botswana has somewhat gradually decreasing pattern in their population pyramid. So, according to this one, we can make a conclusion that developed countries have a population pyramid and have the amount of population along with the age group in similar manner. But in non-developing or less developed countries, the population has been reduced along with their ages because they have died very early ages of their lives. So you can make conclusion in this way. And one more thing, the doubling time, population doubling time. That's an important factor that according to theory that says 1% rate of natural increase, say, that takes 70 to double. So if you suppose about the condition of India, if the natural growth rate of India is equal to 1%, that says India takes 70 years to make double their population. So we can calculate what is the time period of doubling for a country. Suppose you have calculated growth rate for Sri Lanka, we have already discussed how to calculate the growth rate. Then you can divide 70 by that rate, then you will have an answer. So this technique we say rule of 70. This is the theory called rule of 70. By using that one, you can calculate what is the doubling period for a given population. So there are more things. You can read these things leisurely. Then I have given you some self-reading activities also. After the all, you can do this activity too. Brief about population history in Sri Lanka. So today lecture I have given you two activities. One is to write down the effects of World War II on world population, and next one was brief about the population history in Sri Lanka. Okay. I'm not going to ask any question from you because you were silent during the whole lecture. Only one student answered for the questions. Okay. I will stop lecture here. Have a good day.